Chavez has signed an agreement with Russia to build weapons and ammunition manufacturing facilities in Venezuela.
When we saw that Hugo Chavez purchased $3 billion worth of military equipment, and at the same time, in his own words, talks about wanting to attack the United States, it's not a relationship that I'm comfortable with, obviously.
Putin is very happy to pick up whatever arms markets the United States cuts itself off from. And with the two new Kalashnikov factories that he has the Russian license to build now in his country, he's going to have an unlimited capability to sow political violence to a scale that we've never seen.
What's going to happen as the region destabilizes? As the revolution, the Bolivarian revolution, continues, there's no doubt that Chavez is going to try to see that revolution succeed.
He's building a global constituency around the world. He's really being a leader in that score, leading a lot of countries, a lot of different movements, a lot of very frustrated nationalist and ideological movements around the world that really have no global leader. He's trying to be that global leader.
We have been very lucky in Mexico that Felipe Calderón won the elections and not Andrés Manuel López Obrador, who was the candidate of the left.
The Mexicans are extremely nationalistic, so it's not just the gringos they're concerned about. It got to such a point where Mexico almost broke diplomatic relations with Venezuela and has been leading a lot of Latin American countries in opposition to Chavez. If they'd been successful in Mexico, you would have seen a wholesale change in Mexican policy toward the United States. With that border, you would see Mexico becoming our #1 security problem, and Iraq would become a sideshow.
The United States has tended to underestimate the importance of Latin America in general, and of Venezuela in particular.
First, Latin America is really a loser issue to follow if you're a careerist, either in or out of government. It's always the same frustrations over and over and over and over. A lot of these countries can never seem to get their act together, so it's just a nightmare for policy people to deal with. And people are sick of it. With the Fidel Castros and all of this, they're just tired of it all. And we wish the problem would go away. But the fact is, it won't go away.
We really have to be helping the Venezuelan people. First of all, it was a big mistake when Chavez stole the referendum in 2004. That was really a time and a place to say no. There was such enthusiasm on the part of the Venezuelan people, and all the exit polls showed unanimously 59, 60% anti-Chavez vote. Well, when the results came in, 59, 60% pro-Chavez. So what he did was he switched the software from anti to pro. Yes became no, no became yes. And then of course you had Mr. Jimmy Carter, who was there, and the OAS. And both of them, before even the so-called Electoral Council could announce the result, they were already saying how wonderful the referendum had been.
For the Carter Center to certify the phony elections that Chavez used to keep himself in power, and for the State Department then to point to that as reasons for Chavez to be a legitimate leader, that completely undermined any effort we could have made at the time to try to restore a real democratic system in Venezuela, and we didn't stand by the Venezuelan opposition. Is we have to stop letting the Jimmy Carters of the world dictate the agendas of the United States in the Western Hemisphere.
It's very important that the United States, we in this government, act now. It'd be much easier if we were able to take him on directly now instead of waiting until he's able to build up whatever either forces or friends that he is trying to put together. I believe the policy of kind of hands-off is a failed policy. We do not want to let this guy continue to grow.
Whether or not we can remove his presence politically and isolate him remains to be seen, but if he continues to grow in threat, continues to destabilize this hemisphere, continues to ally himself as he has with radical Islam, at some point we have to take real action to stop that. Is that military action? I hope not, but if that's what it takes to do it, I think ultimately that's what we're going to have to do.
We should have a strong intelligence collection effort aimed at gaining political intelligence on Chavez and his supporters. Real information about the weird things they do outside the public eye, their corruption, their nepotism, their brutality, their paranoia, and we should make all of that public in a long-term strategic political warfare and psychological warfare campaign aimed at helping that regime to self-destruct.
We ought to have a policy also of letting the Venezuelan people know and the people of Latin America know that we support them and that we are supporting them. I think we failed in delivering that message.
We are losing our free press. We are losing our capacity to choose where our kids are going to study and what they are going to study. And every day the control from the government is more and more strengthful. Many people are dying here. We have our statistics say that there's one Venezuelan killed every half an hour. We are practically living a war.
It's never too late to reverse any trend. As long as there's hope and as long as there's brave Venezuelans willing to risk their lives to stand up to Chavez and to his thugs and to the Cuban advisors, so-called advisors, who are intelligence and military and other indoctrinators who are in Venezuela to support Chavez's establishment of a dictatorship. It's not too late.
To me, this whole argument, this whole debate with Hugo Chavez is simple. He wants policies of destruction and despair for his people. And we want policies of hope and opportunity. He wants to limit hope and opportunity for the people of Venezuela and in Latin America.